The conference room at Whitman and Cole went quiet the moment my brother stopped talking. Not the polite quiet of people waiting their turn, but the brittle kind that snaps if anyone breathes too hard. Grant sat at the head of the table, chin lifted like he was delivering a verdict instead of a grab. He'd always liked that seat. It made him feel inevitable. 11 rental properties in Florida, he said, fingers steepled. Tampa, Orlando, Miami Beach. He glanced around like a professor checking if the class was still awake. Combined value, around 4.2 million. Since I've been managing them, they should be mine. Mom's hand landed on his shoulder, firm and familiar. It's only fair, she said, already soothing. Dad nodded without looking up, eyes fixed on the glossy tabletop like it might absolve him. Lena, can you understand? Grant's always been the responsible one, Aunt. Diane smirked, wine glass confidence without the wine. What would you even do with rentals? You file permits for the city. I kept my hands folded in my lap, nails pressed into my palm. 5 years of letting them believe that version of me. 5 years of listening while Grant bragged about my tenants, my roofs, my late-night plumbing calls. Acting like sweat made him virtuous. I'd watched, documented, waited. Patience mistaken for weakness is a powerful disguise. Grant leaned back, arms crossed. Nothing to say? No tantrum? He smiled thinly. Good. Maybe you're finally accepting reality. I turned to Dad, 73 now. Grayer, still choosing my brother by reflex. Dad, I said softly, you really don't know, do you? His fork, forgotten from the catered lunch, slipped from his fingers and clattered against the plate. The sound was loud in the silence. His face went pale. Grant snapped forward. No what? I didn't look at him. Did Grandpa Hank ever tell you he transferred the properties before he died? Dad blinked. Transferred? He shook his head. No, Grant handled the paperwork. Grant's smile tightened, like a knot pulled too hard. They're in the estate. That's why we're here. I unlocked my phone, thumb steady. Mr. Whitman, I said to the attorney, please pull up the county property records. I'll read you the addresses. The lawyer hesitated, eyes flicking to Grant, then to me. Then he turned to his laptop. The room filled with the soft clack of keys and Grant's breathing, suddenly too loud. The projector hummed to life. I read the first address. Tampa. Whitman typed, searched, and the results snapped onto the screen. Owner, Lena Maris Caldwell. Recorded February 18th, 2019. Mom gasped. Dad's face drained of whatever color it had left. Grant forced a laugh that landed wrong. That's no. Pull the deed. Whitman clicked. A scanned quitclaim deed filled the wall. Recording stamp. Notary seal. Grandpa Hank's looping signature. My name printed beneath it. Orlando. Same outcome. Miami Beach. Same. 11 times. The same truth. Like a drumbeat no one could talk over. Dad whispered. You've owned them this whole time. Since before Grandpa died, I said. He settled it while he still could. He also warned me Grant was skimming. Cash rents. Phantom repairs. I finally looked at my brother. He told me to stay quiet, keep my day job, and document everything. And Diane leaned in, curiosity sharp now. So you stayed quiet and let Grant manage everything? I met Grant's eyes. They were locked on the word owner like he could burn it off the screen. He didn't manage, I said. He took. I set a binder on the table. Heavy. Final. Forensic accounting. Every rent payment. Every vacancy. Every made-up expense. I flipped it open just enough. Total documented theft. $186,340. Grant lurched to his feet. You set me up. No. I said. Calm as a level. You volunteered. Mom reached for my wrist. Lena, please. Family. Family. Had 5 years to notice me, I said, pulling free. I slid a sealed envelope to Whitman. My attorney's complaint. I file it Monday. Grant stared at the binder like it was a trapdoor opening under him. I stood. The properties aren't up for debate. The only thing left is consequences. I walked out before anyone could rewrite the air dot in the lobby. My heels clicked on marble. Final. My phone vibrated. Grant. Grant again. And again. Each call a siren. I didn't answer. Monday morning, I sat in my attorney's office, signed the complaint, and watched a clerk stamp it received. The sound was small, but it split the last 5 years in half. By Tuesday, two detectives met me at a coffee shop, my binder open between us. They asked questions. I answered like I was reading weather. Grant left a voicemail that night, hoarse with panic. "I'll pay it back. I thought you didn't know." As if ignorance could rinse his hands clean, I texted one line: "Turn over the keys in 48 hours. He did end single quotes T.So today, I changed the locks. The first time I drove to the Tampa duplex as the undisputed owner in my own mind, the place looked ordinary. Sunburned siding, hibiscus, a toddler's chalk circles on the driveway. Ordinary things protected by unglamorous diligence. That was Grandpa Hank's lesson. Not the money, the watching. Dad showed up at my apartment on Saturday alone. No excuses. Left. He didn't try to bargain. He just stood there trembling and said, "I didn't see you." I let the silence do its work, then handed him a copy of the deed packet. "You could have," I said. "It was public." His eyes went wet. "I'm proud of you." I believed him finally, because it cost him something. That night, I filed the last termination notice, sent new welcome emails to every tenant, and slept without guarding my own name.